Hey guys, I've got a pile of new releases and holiday releases sitting in front of me, and some of them I've tried, some of them I haven't tried yet. So we're going to be talking about a lot of makeup, trying on a lot of makeup. Most of this makeup is available at Sephora, and I really wanted to just sit down and talk about these things before the Sephora savings event happens, which is, I'm not exactly sure when this video is going up. I'm kind of pre-filming a little bit for when I'm away. So I think when this goes up, the event will be next week. Anyway, it starts on Halloween. It starts on October 31st for Rouge members, and then November 4th for VIB and insiders, and then it ends for everyone, I believe, on November 10th. So I just wanted to get a lot of these things demoed for you. I wanted to play around with them, see if they belong in my recommendations video, which is also coming up. So let me start with the things that I've tried and my thoughts on them. So Patrick Ta, this is not a new product, the Major Dimension Eye Illusion Eyeshadow Duos, but he did come out with, I believe, 2 new shades, and I got Always on Your Mind. I wanted to compare it to the one that I have, which is Still at the Club, because I thought, are these kind of similar? And then when I opened it, I thought, well, no, not really. But there is a slight, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to hold these up. There's a slight similarity between the top shade of Still at the Club. So this one came out when he first released these duos, and then this is the newer one. So the difference is, and I'll swatch these, but the difference between this top one and these two is that this is much warmer. There's like a brown base to it, where these have a much more neutral to cool leaning tone. I really, really love this Still at the Club duo. So when I saw this one, I had to get it. I just, love the colors, and I wanted to make sure the formula was similar. Again, is this something I can recommend for the savings event? This top one has a little bit of a peach to it. This one is gorgeous. You guys know how much I love a taupe. Ooh, this is absolutely stunning. And I actually wore this shade alone out to dinner one night, and I just loved it. I love it. It's a great one and done shadow. So here is Still at the Club, and then these two are the Always on My Mind. So do you see how this has more of a brown tone to it? And then the bottom shade in Still at the Club doesn't have all of the metallic sparkle. It is more like a high shine satin. So very interesting shade. But these three are much more similar in formula, and the way they look. But yeah, this one kind of falls in between these two, I feel like, but it is warmer than both of these. So anyway, I love these two new ones, the Always on Your Mind. I mean, they're really, really gorgeous. And if you enjoyed these duos before, I think you'll really, really enjoy these. I feel like this is going to be a go-to one and done shadow for me. Yeah, I just really love it. So that is one of the new shades from Patrick Ta. Just wanted to talk about that. Since I've already tried it, have already fell in love, it's probably going to end up in my Sephora recommendations video. Now, another product I tried, I don't really like this, and I really, really wanted to like this, but this is the YSL Couture Face Palette. It is a blush and highlighter palette, and I didn't read through the description thoroughly enough. I thought this was going to be a bronzer, but it is actually a coppery tone. It's a perfect highlight for a deeper skin tone, so that's great. But I thought, oh wow, I'm going to have blush, bronzer, highlight in here. That's not the case. So anyway, that's not the fault of this palette. I did not read the description clearly enough. So I have 2 thoughts after using this palette. One is that I do actually like the blushes in this palette. I like more than the Make Me blushes in the round comp, the individual ones that just came out. As you guys know, I like those blushes, but I don't love them. They're not my favorite. There's a lot of other blushes that I enjoy a lot more than those. So those were just kind of mediocre to me. These I actually like. I don't think the formula is supposed to be any different. I believe these are supposed to be Make Me blushes, but I think that they just work better. So I'm going to actually apply one. I'm going to apply this peach one up top. So that is definitely a plus to this palette. I mean, I just think it applies and blends out beautifully. like the round individual Make Me blushes, I feel like I have to put a little bit more elbow grease in. I don't think they apply like that quickly. I do not think they apply that like blended out and seamless like immediately, like as quickly as this one. So I think that's definitely a plus for this palette. What I don't know, I don't really like are the actual shades in here. I feel like this cool tone mauve is nice, but I would have much preferred like a brighter pink. I just think it would have been, I don't know, more festive. I don't know if maybe there's some other YSL releases that came out. I think I saw some limited edition gold packaging for like one of the, I think, is it like a shine lipstick and maybe that lip plumper? Those look like just kind of pink to me, but I don't know. Maybe they do have like a coolish tone to it like this. And then this one is a really beautiful shade, but it's matte. So, you know, not my favorite. The only blush I do really like in here is the peach one that I applied. It has this really nice kind of golden sheen to it. So it's very pretty, and I think it's really nice for the holidays because it does have that like golden sheen. What I really do not like in this palette, and I don't like the YSL individual highlighters either, the ones in the square packaging, are the highlighters. There's just something very kind of bland, I guess, about them. You know, and I don't mind, as you guys know, I don't mind subtle makeup, but there's something just sort of wishy-washy about these highlighters. There isn't a ton of pigmentation. They just seem kind of, I don't know, like just kind of glittery, and they're kind of thin, I guess you could say. They feel, you know, pretty creamy. I don't know, can you tell? They just don't, they're just not very effective. But it's not that they have a light effect to them. It's that they're just kind of a thin formula. I don't know, I'm just not a fan. So don't like the highlighters in here. Like the blush formula better than the Make Me Blush individual formula. But I only really like this, this shade in here. So it's probably a personal thing for me. If you guys have tried this face palette, let me know what you think. But I'm not like terribly impressed by the options and the layout and the colors and the formulas in here. It just feels a little okay. It feels okay. Like not great. And I love a face palette. I get really excited for face palettes. Like those Hourglass face palettes. I love them. The ambient lighting edit palettes or whatever. Like the Deer one that I just tried, one of their new ones. They're so pretty. Like I open them up and I feel very, very inspired. I don't feel that way with this palette for some reason. I don't know. And I love the packaging. Look at this like puffy, like paralyzed package. It's so pretty. I mean, it's so, so pretty. And I love the packaging, but yeah, just, I don't know. I feel very lukewarm about the powders in here. So I wasn't going to talk about this in this video, but I may as well because I don't know what other video this would pop up in. But this is the Chanel 9-pan eyeshadow palette in 849, the Space Traveler. So Chanel came out with 3 different 9-pan eyeshadow palettes, which is really different for them. I don't know if they've ever done that before, at least not to my knowledge, not in recent history. And I had a really hard time figuring out which one I wanted. There was one that had like a red eyeshadow in there. I was like, I know I'm not going to use the red eyeshadow. So I kind of skipped that one. Anyway, I kind of chatted back and forth with the essay that I work with in the Miami Chanel Beauty Boutique. And he kind of steered me towards this one. And I'm glad that he did. I am glad that he did because I do really like these 3 shadows. And I'll throw some swatches up here for you right now. But I will say, like, so many of the shadows in here, I'm just not going to use. I'm not going to use, I was going to say that often, but I'm probably just not really going to use. I'm not like the biggest blue eyeshadow lover. And this is, and no fault of Chanel's, I mean, this is actually great. It's really pigmented. It's like really, it almost looks like liquid eyeshadow when you put it on. So it's very, very intense. In fact, I'm going to put it on for you right now. We are going to have to take it off though, because I just don't like blue eyeshadow on me. And yet, Michelle, why did you get this one? But yeah, they all had like blue in there. Anyway, I really wanted to try it. I was really just interested in the formula, and I was really interested in seeing like if there was like a little bit more to the color instead of it just being like blue. But it's just blue. So Anyway, again, I mean, it's me. It's a personal thing. If you love blue eyeshadow, I think you would really, really like this blue. So it's super duper creamy. I mean, you can see how pigmented it is on the tip of my finger. And it is, I mean, look at that. It is like no joke blue eyeshadow. So when I first went into the shadow, I was like, oh, I wonder if I can just do like a light dusting. Like, oh, wouldn't that be nice if it's kind of like a topper or whatever? No, it is serious. It is serious. It means business. So I think it's a great, like in terms of quality, a great shadow. Absolutely. And that's just with like a really light dip into the pan. It's so intense. It's so intense. I was like, oh wow. Okay, Chanel was not joking around. So, yes. Very impressed with the pigmentation, very impressed with this formula. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use it. This shade, which has a little bit more of like a black sootiness to it, very, very pretty, but it is also just, it's just very dramatic. Very, very dramatic. So if you're looking for a dramatic eye shadow palette, you may want, and I think all of them kind of have like similar formulas. If any of the color stories kind of speak to you, I would say go for it. The three shadows across the top here, they're like toppers. And I wish those had a little bit more pigmentation. And you will have seen it like in my swatches. So they're just a little bit lighter. I'm going to apply this duochrome shade. So this goes from like a goldish, kind of like olive green to a red. And yeah, this shade, I would have loved if it had like as much pigment as this blue, but it just doesn't. It's a little bit thinner. But look at what you can do with these shadows. Like look at that layered on top of the blue. It's really, really cool. It is really, really cool. I am just not going to wear this very often. Yeah, and then these three shades are mattes. Very nice. I think they work really beautifully. I think if I were to ever use this palette, like I said, I'm probably going to use these three shades the most. This shade at the bottom, this gold, this is another duochrome. It's gold to like a reddish color, is really, really cool. Let me put it up here. And this has like a lot of pigmentation. I think you can see it even, it has more than this green one. So yeah, this top row is really like all about being toppers. So my feelings about this Chanel palette are very interesting because I think the quality is really, really nice. I think the shadows perform really, really well. I just can't imagine that I'm ever going to reach for this. Maybe on the rare occasion, but I did want to just mention the quality of this. So if any of the color stories speak to you at all, I would go for it because yeah, just really, really good quality, really nice quality shadows. I played with this eyeshadow palette maybe, I don't know, I want to say like 3 times. I kept giving it a go and I kept trying to like work the blue in because obviously the blue is the center shade and I was like, okay, I really want to try and like incorporate it into a look. But I always ended up with something that looked not exactly like this, but kind of like this where I felt like all of a sudden my look looks very like circusy. I was like, I can't pull this off. I can't pull this off. I know for some of you out there, it's probably just going to look so elegant, so chic, like just like really cool, like evening look on me. I feel like I look like the Joker. I don't know. It just, yeah, it just doesn't like blue eyeshadow, like bright blue eyeshadow like that. It just doesn't work on me. Well, now I know. Now I know. And I kept wanting to make a video on that Chanel palette for you guys, but every time I sat down and filmed, I was like, I hate this look. Like I look cuckoo crazy. Yeah, it just looked like almost like I was making a satire video of the palette. And I was like, I really don't mean to. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to talk about the palette. I'm not going to try and do like a whole eye look because I couldn't incorporate those blues. I just couldn't do it. So those are all the products that I've tried already that I had some actual thoughts to give you. The rest of the products that I'm going to be playing with, I haven't even tried yet. So I want to try this new Glossier Cloud Paint Plush Blush. I got it in the shade Puff. And I figured we'd start here since I applied that YSL blush on one cheek, and this cheek is plain. So let's check this out. I was really curious about the packaging. Oh, cute. Okay, it's just plastic packaging, but it almost looks like a candy bar. And then here is inside. It looks like it is refillable, this pan. It's pressed powder, and it looks like it's like a soft matte finish. Very, very soft. Almost like a cream to powder. But there's a swatch of puff. Nice. That applied really, really seamlessly. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that almost performed better than the YSL. Oh, I like that. But you can almost like press down on it like it's putty. Oh, how interesting. Plush. That's a really good word for this. Yeah, I really like this formula. Look how easily that goes on. Really smooth. All right. Okay, Glossier. These are very nice. Have you guys tried this? I don't feel like I've seen a lot of people try them. But quite nice. Okay. Well, that's great. Oh, before I keep going, Guerlain actually sent me a package and I took a peek and I think it's holiday stuff. So let me open this up before I go any further because I'm not sure what's in here. Ooh, so there is a Meteorites in Midnight Glow. We'll have to see. Because you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of the new version of the Meteorites, but that's okay. We've got a Terracotta Luminizer. Okay, so this is in Rosy Gleam. We are on the highlighter step, so we'll use that. And then we've got a Rouge G, the double mirror jewel case. Oh, awesome. So you know how the Guerlain lipsticks have like the mirror top. So they're kind of like refillable. So that's just one of the tops. And then this is their eyeshadow quad multi-effect in 520 Stellar Glow. So more eyeshadow. So I've got a lot of eyeshadow here to talk about. And then Natasha Dona sent this package over. I think this is just holiday stuff. Let's see. Yeah, holiday 2025. So all of this stuff I think we are well acquainted with. Yeah, we've got a blush and highlight duo, some eyeshadows, lipstick, lip liner, and oh, that looks different. That looks different. What is that? Essential eyeshadow duo, a matte and sparkling compact. This guy right here, that one looks new, but everything else looks familiar, right? Yeah. Okay, let's pull this out. It is the Dream Pouch. So this full face holiday set includes lipstick, lip liner, the cheek duo, and then the eyeshadow trio here. And then they threw in the eyeshadow duo and also the My Mini Dream Glow blush. Okay, so let me just show you what this pouch looks like. Oh, it's really nice. I love the metallic. And then the Natasha Denona is in these like raised plastic letters. It's really neat. Really, really cool. Okay, so that is the Dream Pouch. And then this Mini Dream Glow Blush is like an ornament. That's so cute. Yeah, I'm most interested in this because this is the only product that looks like totally new. So we've got this packaging, which reminds me of, is it the High Blush Cream Duo? Those guys? Yeah, it has packaging like this. I mean, bigger, but similar. Ooh, this looks really pretty. Ooh, let's do some swatches. Ooh, nice. So we've got the matte, it's a very creamy matte, and then we have this metallic shade. That's a great little pair there. My gosh, I've got so many eyeshadows. Okay, let me put this to the side and maybe we'll try that on when we get to all the eyeshadows. But the swatches are great because you could just do some like dimension building with this and then just cover your lid with that. You just have like a really nice, simple, like icy winter wonderland kind of look. Nice. Okay. I like that. All right, let me take a look at this Guerlain highlighter. So this is the shimmering powder in Rosy Gleam. And I'm so curious to see if they have holiday packaging. No, looks like they just have the terracotta compact here. And then, ooh, this is one of their baked gel powder. Do you see that? Oh, wow. Wow. Let's do a swatch. This feels good. That is wet. This is a very wet highlighter. Oh my goodness. Let's try this out. I'm still testing out a brush. I can't tell you, I can't tell you the name of this brush or anything, but I've been dying to try this with highlighter because I've been testing it with other products. But I think it'll be really good for a shiny highlighter like this. Wow. Let's spread the love here. Ooh, this is very glittery. Very, I think I just like snorted some glitter. It has it doesn't have a terracotta scent. It has like a light kind of floral scent. So this is a very glittery, wet looking highlighter. I mean, it's so glittery that there's like a little bit of fallout. If I use maybe a denser brush, like one where I can buff, I'm going to use this buff and blur brush from Pkwy. You may be able to like work it in a little bit more. That is some wet, bright highlighter. Almost too light for my skin tone. So it's a really, really white. So if you have a deeper skin tone than me, it's going to be very obvious. Just FYI. But it does have a little bit of a cool pink tone to it. I think that kind of makes it stand out even more. But wow, if you want a wet looking highlight, I'm thinking of like Teresa is Dead. Just the words like alien slut are like going through my head right now. Amazing. Wow, that's really pretty. Really pretty. Okay, so that is the Guerlain Holiday Highlighter in Rosy Gleam. Let me show you the eyeshadows that we're dealing with now. So I picked up the new Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Nature Palette. I just showed you the new Duo from Natasha Denona. Then we have this quad from Guerlain. And then I feel like this is gonna kind of turn out like the Chanel, but I picked up the Pat McGrath. I mean, I love Pat McGrath. I was really excited when I saw this eyeshadow palette, but they're gonna be really big, you know, bold kind of eyeshadows. So let's start here. Oh, this packaging is like so different from anything she's done, right? So this is a 12 pan palette. This is a hard plastic. Oh, the size of the pans are a little bit smaller than I thought, but not tiny, not tiny, just a little bit smaller, definitely smaller than her Mothership palettes. And while yes, there are some very bold and bright colors, there's plenty of shades that I think are a little bit more suitable for someone who likes a subtle makeup look. So that's promising. Why don't I show you some swatches? So I'm actually gonna go up and down from left to right, because I feel like these are good color stories. So we've got Pink Venus, Moonlit Mauve, Nude Nirvana, Liquid Sky, Cosmic Orchid, Platinum Bronze, Cherry Noir, Bronze Aura, Aquamarine Allure, Golden Lurex, Mauve Mystique, and Noir Nebula. And all of the shadow names are on the back, which is really nice because usually she does like an overlay or like the, you know, in the Mothership palette she has that card or whatever, but these are on the back, which is nice. All right, let's try out a couple of these shadows. I want to make sure I get like a few of the different finishes in here. So of course I'm going to start with the matte, this one down here, which is the Nude Nirvana. I'm going to use this MAC 286 brush and go into Nude Nirvana. I've not used this brush in so long. Okay. It's very peachy in tone, but I do like the formula. I think the formulas in here are they're very Pat McGrath. They're very creamy, very smooth. Blends out super easily. That's great. I'm going to go into, I do want to try like one of the funkier shades. Let me try this green shade up top here, this Golden Lurex shade. Okay, I'm going to use my BK Beauty A501 brush. It's a flat shader. It's not really picking up this shade very well. I think I may use my finger actually. Yeah, because this is like a cream. Wow, that's really pretty. Wow, that's fun. That's really fun. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to try this shade over here, this Moonlit Mauve. Oh, that's pretty too. These metallic shades are so creamy. So creamy. There's like no fallout, nothing. You can just like press them onto your skin and like voila. And like there's nothing left on your finger. It's almost like it adheres to your skin, your eyelid. Wow, that's so cool. Okay, let's try this really dark shade on the bottom here, this Noir Nebula. I'm just gonna keep using my finger here. These metallic shades for sure, I think your finger is the tool to use. Ooh, that's cool. That has like a black base with a really pretty, almost like a peacock blue tone to it. Yeah, like this is a funky look I feel like I could wear. I would go out in. I had a really hard time with that Chanel palette. I think it was just the tone of that blue. Anyway, I'll get off that topic, sorry. Harping on that poor Chanel palette, which is wonderful. It's a great palette. Speaking of blues, you know what? I'm gonna try this blue in here. I'm gonna try this on my other eyelid because I do just wanna see, like, am I cursed with blue shadows? Or is it that particular blue? Because it's such a, it's such a royal blue. And I've never had such a problem with blues until that one. And I think it's the tone. This blue reminds me of a blue that she had in one of her original 6-pan palettes. Ugh, I wish I could remember which one it was, but it was very dark. It had like a burgundy, like red wine color shadow. It had like a matte black. Do you remember? It came in like the cardboard 6-pan, and the outside cardboard motif was like blue with the gold. Anyway, this shadow, the tone of this reminds me of that because it's a little bit more of like a cornflower kind of blue. You know, I like this blue more than the Chanel blue, but I just don't like it as much as these. Yeah, like I like these greens and golds and that peach in there so much more than this blue. I wonder if it's my blonde hair. I definitely have to do a video where I'm talking about like the changes and the differences with blonde, because I feel like I used to wear like blue shadow, not all the time, definitely not all the time, but every once in a while I put on blue shadow and I liked it. I never had a problem with blue shadow. Maybe it's my hair. Maybe it's my hair. So that is the Pat McGrath palette. Really, really creamy metallic shades. Very, very like up to, I think, up to like Pat McGrath standards. And I think this palette is fun. It's a fun mix between, like I said, if you like more subtle looks or subtle shades, I should say, these are great. You know, a few of these in here are great. And then you have some funky ones if you want to like, you know, jazz up your look a little bit. So this was a lot more successful than I thought. And the Chanel was a lot less successful than I thought. That's sad. But I do like this Pat McGrath palette. Very nice. Let's move on because we have so many eyeshadows to play with. Let me take this off and actually reapply some concealer or foundation. Does that look okay? I think that looks okay. What is next? Shall we try? Let's try this makeup by Mario palette. So this is the Ethereal Eyes Nature. I believe this is limited edition, and I've really enjoyed the Makeup by Mario palettes in the past, so I was pretty excited for this. I mean, it is pretty basic, except for this row right here where we have some like antique gold, olive green, and then a really red toned, maybe brown metallic shade. So let me do some swatches, and again, just like the Pat McGrath, I'm going to go up and down and then left to right. And none of these none of these shadows have any names, but we do have a nice mix of mattes. We have some metallics in here. That first shade is like a matte shade with a little bit of micro glitter in there. Very, very pretty. And all of these shadows just have like a, you know, very normal pressed powder formula. None of them feel like a cream to powder or anything like that. Just very nice, straightforward shadows. All right, so my instinct was to start with this shade, but I think we started with a very similar shade from the Pat McGrath palette. So I'm gonna start with this one. This one has a little bit more of like a yellow undertone. Let's see how that works. Blends out beautifully, nice pigmentation. Same experience I've had with his palettes in the past. Work a little bit more in. All right, let's go into one of the funkier shades over here. Should we do this one? The one that's like more green? I feel like I just did that with the Pat McGrath. So maybe what I'll do is this top green, which is a little bit more gold leaning. And let me apply that all over. Okay, very nice. It's very, very subtle. Like the satin metallicness of it, it's not like a Pat McGrath. This is much more subtle and I would say probably appealing to like the regular everyday makeup wearer. Like if they just want to spruce up their look for a holiday party, this is a really good option. That's really pretty though. I like that. And it's a little bit, well, I was gonna say I feel like it's a little bit more green on my lid than it appears in the pan. In the pan, it really looks like a dirty gold, like an antique gold. But I really feel like I see a bit more green on my lid, which is nice. Okay, I wanna try this red shade out. So pretty. It's got a lot of brown in there. So I'm hoping it doesn't look too, like eye infection. So let me get it right in the corner here. And I like how his shadows, they're not like overly pigmented. They're very buildable. They're not like scary to work with. And they blend into one another very nicely. Right? That's really nice. That's really nice. Like this is a really nice way to like incorporate a little bit of holiday into your palette. None of these shadows are like, whoa, like I'm only ever going to use them for that one holiday party at the end of the year. Like these are nice. I feel like you could wear these like for dinner out, easy. And I really like the way they like work into one another. Okay, well, I think that was a good smattering. I mean, we got a matte in there and then we did some of the metallics. I like this palette. I really do. Okay, so that's the Makeup by Mario. Let's take a look at the Guerlain. This is the Stellar Glow 520. Look at this compact. It is actually faceted. It actually feels faceted. How cool. And oh, these are actually just a pressed powder, which is just fine. So we've got a silver and a gold, and then we've got some very warm browns. This actually almost looks like a clay color. Brown up here, this one is a satin. Well, let me do some swatches of these 4 shades so you can get a sense of them. They feel really nice. The Guerlain quads that came out, when they like reformulated them, it's probably more than a year ago at this point, but they were like a big gel powder. And I think sometimes those can be challenging to use because they're hard to pick up. You need to use kind of like a dense brush. They take a little bit of getting used to, especially if you're used to like pressed powders. But these are a pressed powder, and I think they, so far they're swatching okay. So anyway, let me apply it to this eye. We're gonna look really crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna take a flat shader here. I'm gonna go into this matte shade, and I'm gonna start along the lash line. Yeah, this is like an earthenware color. And I'm just dragging it out. Nice, really well pigmented, blended out. These shadows have a little bit more of like a thickness to them versus the Makeup by Mario. They're not like a cream to powder or anything like that, but there's like a little bit of almost like a grip to them. I'm mega surprised. I am guessing that it's like my blonde hair, but warmer eyeshadows, I don't mind as much as I did when I had my like salt and pepper hair. Isn't that interesting? Let's go into the gold then. Let's do gold. I'm just going to use the same brush and I'm going to apply this just on top of or over the rust color. Are there shade names? No. I feel like every time I put on gold eyeshadow, I feel like it looks very Egyptian and I love it, but it makes me want to put on like really dark like eyeliner and everything. Okay, we have a little bit of an ombre from like the rust to the gold. I'm going to use the silver as like an inner corner highlight. Let's try that. I'm going to use my Sonia G flat definer brush. Add it right there. Really bright, really bright. And then this brown shadow, yeah, let me see if I can use it to kind of line my lower lash line and also maybe give me a little dimension out here. So I'm going to grab my Nikki LaRose N22 brush. Let's do a little baby wing. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I also don't mind this Makeup by Mario at all. I really like that palette. Okay. But this is really fun for holidays. Okay, I think just to save my eyelids, I think that's it that I'm going to try on for eyes. I do have this Natasha Denona Duo. But you saw those swatches, and I think that's a pretty easy eyeshadow look to do. What do I have left here? So I've got the Rouge G. Oh, this is just the mirror case. Let's see. So this is, ooh, it's one of the holiday ones. So it looks just like the eyeshadow cover. So I think I have some Guerlain lipsticks, but this flips open into a mirror. But when you put the lipstick in, it kind of keeps this closed. It's a very cool design. So I'll have to dig out some Guerlain lipsticks to put in there. But that's a fun case. And then we do finally have the meteorites, but I should put on some lips. Hang on one second. I'm going to throw on the Westman Atelier lip liner in Gerève, mainly because I just have it sitting out here. I'm not sure if this is a good match, but I just pulled out the Hung Van Gogh Creamy Matte Lipstick in Nothing Impossible. It's like a peachy nude. I think we'll see. I mean, I already look crazy enough, so let's just keep going with it. Yeah, I think the lip liner is a little bit too cool tone. All right. Well, just had to finish off that look because I want to use the meteorites for the holidays. The cover is just like the eyeshadow cover. It's got this faceted, textured cover that's really pretty. And let's see what these look like. So it does come with a puff, and then it does have that foam piece that kind of sits on top of everything. Oh, wow. So this is, let's see, I think Midnight Glow. And I think what they've added to this, do you see the little star pieces? That has like a little bit of a gold tint to it. And then the rest of the meteorite balls, if you will, are like typical of, is it the light shade? I think it's the light shade that I'm thinking of. These look like Lucky Charms. Hold on. Let me pull out one of these star. How funny is that? Yeah, these are gold. So what I like to do is put the cap back on, turn it over, shake a little bit. And I got all of this from Tar Babies. I don't know if you guys watch her. And you get a lot of the loose powder up top here, but you also get a bunch on the cover, which is generally where I like to pull from. Take a nice buffer brush. All of my Buffer Pros are dirty. Yeah, all of my Buffer Pros are dirty right now. So I'm going to use a smooth buffer, which is just, it's the same brush basically, but it's just a little bit smaller than the Buffer Pro. So I'm just going to dip onto the cover here. I'm going to tap on. Yeah, I don't like this fragrance as much as the old violet one. Just buffing it out. Yeah, it leaves this really kind of odd, it's like a layer. It's so strange. It's like a layer of the powder, and it leaves this kind of strange chalky metallic sheen. It's yeah, it's not great, and no matter how much I buff it in or how lightly I apply it, it's just, yeah, it's just there. It's just there. It's such a strange, it's almost like a film. It's, yeah, it's really kind of, it's really bizarre. It's really bizarre. I'm not the biggest fan of the meteorites. Not the biggest fan of these new meteorites, unfortunately. So not any different from their regular line. Now we know. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun just, you know, sitting around talking about what we love, makeup, just trying on all these like new palettes, holiday releases, chatting about it all. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.